Hey, what's up, guys? This is Elias on chess.com right now, and I'm actually checking out a few games as usual. And I noticed that when I do play white, I've kind of changed my strategy as time has gone on. This is as of a few months ago, after between the breaks and all this other stuff, and trying to gain a better understanding and change it up with some variety on my part. So I'm not opening with the Hungarian. What I am doing though is opening with the Queen's Pawn opening. So pretty awesome strategy. I was also rethinking some ideas of going into the Ready or the Kali Zukertort system. And there's going to be obviously more information as I continue to advance as a player. So with this video, this is a standard setup for me. Uh, Pretty awesome. There's variations to this because this is such an old style or system that there's a lot to be said for it. So I mean, yeah, good stuff. So I'm going to continue to develop. What I want to do is basically reinforce this the best I possibly can, but with that pawn push, I'm going to have to back off a little bit and then basically stop his pawn from moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and blockade it, and then I know obviously this diagonal is not going to play to my favor, but he's applying pressure there, so I have to be mindful of that, and I'm not too worried about it, especially in the opening stages of the game. But if he starts dropping this pawn down, the F pawn right here on F6, and starts dropping it down, he can start applying a lot of pressure, especially if I fianchetto this bishop here. Then that's pretty much going to be open and something to watch out for. So I anticipate an attack like that going on, but I'm going to continue pushing. When he flares out the sides like this and makes a pawn movement from A7 to A6, that's a prophylactic move. He's basically taking and occupying that square, so I can't jump up here and then throw his or put his dark squared bishop into danger. So if I come up here with my knight, what I like to do is jump up here to b5, and then be able to take this, or at least harass the bishop. But he's obviously breaking that attack before it happens, so that's awesome prophylactics right there on his part. So as we continue, I'm bolstering my defense here on the d4 pawn, and then I'm going to go ahead and move up. Although I'm not going to make that attack, I can make some stuff happen and then, continuously advance on this flank here. But we'll see how this plays out. I want him to take, because like you guys know very well at this point, I'm sure, unless you're new, that what I use my knights for is to exchange with the bishops. I want to knock those long diagonals out as quickly as possible. And then this is usually a great position to be in because one, he's either going to take with this bishop, or I'm going to score some free material here and then put his queen and rook in danger. And usually when I'm in a position and they let me do this, I've not only just taken the one of the bishops, I've gone from that point to taking a free rook. So that's always a great position to be in because those are very powerful pieces. So he's going to go ahead and sidestep that attack. And then you guys may not have noticed this, but there's a pawn right here that I can basically break this formation down in. So I have both of my knights on this pawn, and then he's not defending it anymore. And then obviously he would have lost one, but I would have won the d5 square. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm in a 2-knight defensive position, very powerful position, and I'm going to jump back. If I can score one of these bishops, like I said, you already know that's what I'm gunning for, and I don't want to lose it to another knight. Although that would be a great position, it's just not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and advance to the pawn, make a small pawn thrust, but when I make that pawn thrust, I'm using that pawn as a launch pad to move up. And then so because I want to score a rook and harass the queen while I'm at it, or I can exchange this bishop out. So this knight has done two great things in this game. So far it's broken this guy's center, and that he's not going to be able to recenter that. And then I've got a ton of coverage on that pawn using it as a launch pad. And then getting behind his line. A lot of people become unnerved by this, and I can see why. And for obvious reasons, there's a reason why you would become unnerved by something like this. But I'm really far into his line at this point. This is an extremely target-rich environment for myself, and I stand to gain some solid material here. And even if I don't gain the rook and potentially the queen, best case scenario, the queen, obviously, I'm still going to gain this light squared bishop, and then still maintain some kind of dominance in the center because I have that pawn this far into his rank. So he's going to go ahead and take, totally fine, and then I'm going to go ahead and push with that. And then obviously the only thing stopping me from nabbing his queen is his dark squared bishop. With that diagonal, it doesn't look like he has a whole lot of stuff. He's kind of trapped here. There's really nothing fantastic he could be doing. Obviously he can drop down here and put some pressure there. If he does, I'm going to go ahead and throw my knight up to a4 and then recapture the second he takes when I open up, if he sees that. But he's going to go ahead and push for his position. And then I'm going to start moving up. And then after reinforcing that, he wants to win that material back. Why a pawn? I don't know, but that's how he wants to play it. So he takes, loses that material. Once he pushes me out of here, I assume he's going to drop this pawn here, reinforced by the bishop, or reinforced by the knight. So he takes that material, wants to get something. I'm going to go ahead and recenter or centralize my rook, hoping that he'll take. And since he's aggressive enough, he's going to go ahead and take. Now he goes ahead and pushes. And then this is a perfect example of pinning. And I talked about it in one of my other videos, but this is a great example. Because he didn't see the pin coming here, I'm attacking his king indirectly through his queen. You can't move yourself into check. So he's in a pickle here. He's going to lose some material, and it's probably going to end up being his queen. He can go ahead and throw that out there, but he's only delaying the inevitable because now he's going to lose this material and compound his loss. So with that being said, he has no other choice but to take. Oh, and then puts me into a predicament here. But then again, he can't even reinforce that. He can come down again and compound that by using his knight. I don't know why I can't say knight. It's just weird, but yeah. But I can move out of that. And so I'm going to go ahead and take that material because I don't want him to jump down with his knight. And then he's going to try to reinforce the capture, which he does. Now I've pawned, or now I've pinned the rook to his king. His king becomes active, and I swipe some more material. He called the game here, and this is a great example of how you can use pinning. Like I talked about in one of my other videos, this is the game that started off the whole pinning trend for me today. But if you really look at it, man, I got a ton of potential. This is definitely a win. There's no two ways about it. This is a win. So with that being said, if you guys want to go over the video and stuff like that, I would always suggest that you guys go over your own games, and especially the losses, because that's when you're going to learn the most. But I mean, the variables here, the calculations, the whole nine, like there's so much you could be doing. But just to throw it out there, because I got a little bit of time here, my next move surely would have been to repin that rook again by moving my queen to d5, pinning the rook, and then bringing my rook out here. He can't move, and then I would win that material no matter what. So this is a bad position for this guy to be in. He overplayed his hand, especially he could definitely use that rook that he dropped down a little bit earlier because he was being really aggressive. So with that being said, I'm going to call it here, and then go ahead and comment, leave me your ideas, whatever you want to do. Now give me some ideas for future videos, and we can kind of go from there. All right, guys, take it easy.